Hello students. So this will be the second video of chapter 2. Okay, motion in one dimension. So in the previous video we have already discussed about the scalar and vector quantities and how we represent the vector quantities, and also we have given some examples of scalar quantities and vector quantities. Fine. So today we will learn about the common terms related to moving bodies. Okay, so first term is about the distance. So let us give one example before going to the definition. So this is our Chokam, and suppose someone has to go to Medu. Okay, so how the road is? So like you have to travel, and again you will reach the Digaru, and from Digaru again you have to reach it. So this is called this total distance from Chokam to Medu. This is called our distance. So what is distance? If you look the definition, the length of the path traveled by a body in certain interval of time, that is called our distance. That is the total length. This total distance travel from Chokam to Medu, that is known as our distance. And there is another term, that is the second one is our displacement. Okay. So what is displacement? This is the shortest path. Okay, displacement is the shortest path between the initial position and the final position. That means that the shortest path from the shortest distance from Chokam to Medu will be represented by a straight line. So this distance is known as our displacement. Okay, so this will be our distance, total path length, and this shortest distance is known as our displacement. Okay, so this is the difference. So for the distance, there will be no direction. Okay, so that's why the distance is our scalar quantity, whereas displacement has particular direction. So from Chokam to Medu, we are traveling in a particular straight line, and that straight line will be either in the direction of west or direction of the east. Okay, so that's why our displacement is our vector quantity. So if you see the definition of the displacement, so all of you please open page number 37. Okay, page number 37. So you can see the definition at the top. Number B, the shortest distance between the initial position and the final position of a body is known as displacement. Okay, so you write the definition from the book. Write it from book. Okay, so now we have to see the unit of distance. So we have called that distance is our scalar quantity, whereas displacement is our vector quantity. So what is the unit of distance? So generally the unit of distance, generally we say that unit of distance. So unit of distance are generally, we have two systems, that is CGS system and SI system. So in CGS system, the distance measured in centimeter, whereas in SI system, that is your, you can say, the unit of distance will be measured in meters. Okay, and the distance is represented by S. Okay, so what is the unit of distance? Unit of distance. So first, in CGS, it is our centimeter, whereas in SI system, it is meter. Okay, and what we have learned, that this distance is our scalar quantity, whereas displacement is our vector quantity. Okay. Now the question arises, so distance cannot be zero. Okay, so one thing note, so you can note one thing. Not one, two things. So distance cannot be zero. Okay, cannot be zero. Why distance cannot be zero? Suppose we are moving from from A to B. There will be at least some distance. Okay, so distance cannot be zero. Okay, but can displacement be zero? Okay, can displacement be zero? So what is displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance between any two points or any two positions. Okay, so suppose I am at Chokam. Okay, so my distance is, suppose I travel to suppose Medu. Okay, so again from Medu I came to Chokam. Okay, so I have started at Chokam and again reached at Chokam. So what is the total distance from Chokam to Medu? Suppose the distance is 15 kilometers. So again from Medu to Chokam, this will be 15 kilometers. So what is the total distance I have traveled from Chokam to again Chokam via moving from Medu? So it is our 30 kilometers. So this is our distance. Okay, so distance cannot be zero. but I have started from A. Again, after some time, I have reached at A. So what is the shortest distance now? So there is no distance because I have my starting point and the end point are both same. So shortest distance is there is no distance. So displacement can be 0. Okay. So we can say that displacement can be 0. So when displacement can be 0? Displacement can be 0 when initial point or starting point, initial point and final point are same, or initial position or final position are same, then only we can say the displacement will be 0. Clear? Okay. So next, third term related to the moving bodies is our speed. So what is speed? So it is the rate of change of motion. Okay, rate of change of motion. So you can find the definition in book also, or we can say what is speed? It is the distance covered by a moving body per unit time. Okay, or we can say distance covered by a moving body per unit time. So this will be also called per unit time, is called speed. So we have got one formula. So what is speed? So speed equals to distance by time, where d is the distance, s is the speed, and t is our time. Clear? So this is the formula. So let us represent time by small t, then it will be more clear. So s equal to distance by time. Now we can find the what is the unit. Okay, so speed equals to distance by time. Okay, so what will this unit? Before going to unit, you can say that whether it is scalar or vector. So as distance is scalar, so time is also scalar. So that means speed will be also a scalar quantity, as it have only magnitude but no direction. So we can say that our speed is a scalar quantity. Okay, speed is a scalar quantity. Why? Because it has magnitude but no direction. Not direction, no direction. Okay. Now if we see the units, okay. So next we will see unit of speed. So first one is in CGS system. So in CGS system, what will be the unit of speed? So in unit of speed will be our unit of speed is, this will be centimeter per second, or you can write cm as power minus 1, where s is the second, cm is the centimeter. Okay, and in SI system, our unit of speed is meter per second, or you can write m as power minus 1. Fine. So okay, so next definition is our uniform speed. Uniform speed. So what is uniform speed? That is, if a body covers equal distance in equal interval of time. Okay, so if a body covers equal distance, suppose we are taking a total distance of 30 kilometers. Okay, suppose the body and suppose the car is moving, we can say your 60 kilometers in 1 hour, and again suppose in the next 1 hour also it travels 60 kilometers. Okay, again in the next interval of time, this is our 1 hour, and this is also 1 hour, this is also 1 hour. So in equal interval of time, if a body moves equal distance, then that type of speed is known as uniform speed. Okay, so you write it from the book. You have to write all this from book, so you will get the definition. Okay, so for example, you can say that rotating fan. So a fan rotates continuously in a uniform speed. Okay, the rotation will be fixed per minute. Okay, so in 1 minute, suppose it is rotating 30,000 times. So in the next minute also it will rotate 30,000 times. Okay. So next we have variable speed. Variable speed means, suppose if a body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time. Suppose in 1 hour, suppose it is traveling 30 km, and suppose in the next hour, 1 hour, suppose it is traveling 35 km, and again in the next hour, 1 hour, suppose it is traveling 20 km. So you can see the interval of time is same, but the distance covered by that body is not same. So that is called our variable speed. So that means if a body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time, so we can say that that body is moving with a variable speed. Generally when we drive, okay, either bicycle or cycle or any car, so when we ride in a particular speed, some obstacles comes, either cow or we can say any other traffic, so our speed changes. So that is known as our variable speed. Okay, next we have our average speed. Average speed. So what is average speed? The ratio of total distance traveled by a body to the total time taken by the body to cover the distance. This is called our average speed. So you can write this formula. So what is average speed? It is the total distance traveled by total time taken. So this will give us our average speed. Okay, so you can write the definition from book. So okay, so all this definition you have to write from the book. The topics which I am giving you, so you have to write it from the book. Okay, next is our instantaneous speed. Okay, so what is instantaneous speed? If the speed of a body is continuously changing with time. Okay, so if the speed is not fixed, instantaneous means suppose for every interval of time or with changing time the speed changes. Okay, then that speed at some particular instant during its motion is called our instantaneous speed. Suppose your speedometer, have you seen the speedometer? You can see the speedometer in bike or car. Okay, so you can see that part. So either it is moving in 20 km, 30 km, 40 km. So automobiles generally that show our instantaneous speed. Instantaneous speed means speed at particular time. So when you are accelerating, so at particular time you can see the speedometer. So either it may be at 40 km per hour or at 60 km per hour. Suppose after some time you can see the speed, and if you apply a brake, so you can see the speed. So speed changes. So with time, with change in time, the speed also changes. So that type of speed are known as instantaneous speed. So you have to write this definition from the book. Okay, so these are all the parts of speed. Okay, so all are scalar quantity: uniform speed, variable speed, average speed, and instantaneous speed. Okay, these are all scalar quantities. Okay, and these are the parts of speed. Next we will move to velocity. Okay, this will be our fourth topic, that is D, velocity. So there is a slight difference between speed and velocity. So what was speed? Our speed was distance by time. But what will be the velocity? Velocity is the displacement. It is displacement by time. This is the difference. So that means speed is our scalar quantity, whereas velocity is our vector quantity, because in velocity we have both magnitude as well as direction. Okay, so what is velocity? We can say the rate of change of motion, the rate of change of motion in a specific direction. Okay, so this will be our velocity, or we can say the rate of change of displacement, or you can write the rate of change of displacement. So we have one formula. What is velocity? Velocity equals to displacement by time. Okay, so velocity as displacement is vector, so velocity will be also vector. So we can say that is velocity is a vector quantity. Okay, so units of velocity will be same as that of your speed. Okay, its unit will be same as that of your speed. Fine. So similarly, we can give one example, that is suppose the velocity of a body is 36 km per hour towards east. So suppose a body is moving in a particular fixed direction at a specific speed. You can say that. Okay. So next we have our uniform velocity. Okay, all the definition which we have covered for speed, uniform variable speed, average speed, and instantaneous speed. So we have to replace all the speeds by velocity. We will get the same definition. But for that, whenever there comes a distance in that definition of speed, we have to replace your word distance by displacement. Okay. So let's see the uniform velocity. So what is the uniform velocity? If a body covers equal distance in equal interval of time in a specific direction. Whereas if you see the definition of uniform speed, if a body covers equal distance in equal interval of time, okay, it is said to be moving with uniform speed. So no direction have been mentioned. Okay, but in uniform velocity, it says that when a body covers equal distance in equal interval of time in a specific direction, then that speed is known as our uniform velocity. Okay, variable velocity will be also same. When a body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time in a specific direction, it is said to be variable velocity. Next we have our average velocity. So what will be the average velocity? It is the total distance traveled in a specific direction divided by total time. So thus we have to just put a specific direction. You will get the answer. Okay. So you write all the definition. So which definition? Uniform velocity, variable velocity, then our average velocity. So you have to write all this definition. Okay. And one thing, homework, you can write the difference between speed and velocity in the table. So difference between speed and velocity. Okay, so you can find it in page number 38. Okay. So up to this, you do it. So in the next video, we will continue our acceleration part. Okay. So after that, we will see some derivation of the formulas and some graphs. Okay. Thank you.